My name is Scott Bartellbort. I am in private practice. I'm located in La Jolla, California. Um, I've been in practice for over 20 years, and I had the privilege of being the California Society of Plastic Surgeons president in the year 2020. I decided that I was going to be a plastic surgeon when I was in medical school. I went to medical school and I was going to be a family practitioner. And then I rotated on plastic surgery. And I fell in love with it right then and there. And it's been a love affair ever since. I love everything about plastic surgery. I tell the students that rotated with me through the years, and that it's the absolute best specialty. You get to take care of, and depending upon your practice, you get to take care of babies. You get to take care of geriatric patients. You need to help somebody improve the quality of their life from an aesthetic procedure. You get to reconstruct somebody from cancer. The relationships you create with your patients. I have families where I've operated on the grandmother, the mother, and the granddaughter. Okay. Many of my patients have been with me 10, 15, 20 years. I've got to know them. I get to watch them evolve and change and to be there for them. It was an interaction with Dr. Fawad Nahai. Okay. Dr. Nahai, at the time of this interaction, was like, I think, if not the preeminent plastic surgeon in America, one of them. And so I was at the breast meeting in um, Santa Fe, and I didn't know, he didn't know me, I didn't know him, and so I had written him, said, Dr. Nahai, I would love if we get together so I can kind of get a feeling for what you're thinking, how I can help you, so forth and so on. And so here I am, this humble guy, little guy, and here's Dr. Nahai, this giant in plastic surgery, and he comes up to me and calmly, quietly introduces himself. And then he says, Scott, could I get you some coffee or some tea? And he went and got it. And I was like, what are you doing? I should be doing this for you. And it just was this, you know, here he was, but there's still this humble spirit. And I just was like, that's how I want to lead. I think that I was fortunate to be um, involved in the Aesthetic Society, simultaneous with the California Society. And that gave me really a unique combination of cross pollination that taught me a lot. And many of the problems that we had in the Aesthetic Society were the same problems we had in the California Society. So I had the privilege of hearing all these different wonderful minds and their ideas and solutions for the problems that we had. And I think that prepared me well for when my time came as a president. If you can do something, you know, that even on a very small basis makes a difference and shows you had an idea and that you acted on it, you followed through, and you created something. Okay. I think that makes a huge difference. Okay. Very hard to do when you're working as hard as you are in medical school, but I would at least see what you could to do there. One of the things I will say, you're going to hear me say the same thing on all three of these questions, and it is that work on your reputation, work on your integrity. Okay. Let people know that when they say your name, that's who that person is. Okay. It will, it's everything that you have. Okay. All the work you're doing is to make that, to have that good reputation. And if you lose it, it's almost impossible to get back. Just my final thoughts are that I have loved the experience of my journey in CSPS. It was at times much more work than I expected. Okay. But it's like most things in life, the more you give, you know, the more you receive. And so I would unequivocally tell young medical students, residents, and people in practice, get involved from the beginning of your journey. You never know what's going to come during your time. Um, I feel very blessed that I got to be president of the California Society, the privilege, and it was sort of for me you know the opportunity to give back and the opportunity to make a difference in hopefully in my colleagues' lives and hopefully in our patients' lives.